Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I rise to support this bill by Honorable Senator Professor Margaret Kamal on the Kenyan Sign Language. And Madam Speaker, I want to bring a different perspective to this bill and why we must all support. Because, Madam Speaker, the sign language is a language basically that everybody can speak, whether educated, whether illiterate, or from whichever tribe or whichever race you come from. And Madam Speaker, knowing very well that we live in a country where negative tribalism has caused a lot of tragedies within our nation, I see a potential of the sign language bill eradicating these barriers and creating nationalism, a spirit where the whole country is united, and it will eradicate the negative tribalism. Madam Speaker, and also let us note that you do not become disabled by choice. A lot of times it's because of an accident or circumstances and occurrences you cannot control. And Madam Speaker, having been blind at some point in my life and having been handicapped in that I couldn't walk while I was growing up as a young child, I know for a fact that continuous and further marginalization of the deaf people in this country and all PWDs generally is the worst kind of injustice that we can do as humans to humanity. Because, Madam Speaker, we will be suppressing their human rights, and enacting this bill into action, Madam Speaker, would mean that we will be tackling 3 SDGs. SDG number 3 on good health and wellness, and number 8 on decent work and economic growth, and Madam Speaker, SDG number 10 on equality. Madam Speaker, it is important that as legislators in this country and people mandated with powers to protect human dignity, that we all support this bill. Thank you, Madam Speaker. And before I forget, Madam Speaker, a lot of PWDs are considered outcast in so many communities. And if you look, there is a direct correlation between the communities that consider PWDs as outcasts and illiteracy and marginalization and minorities. And these are the communities with the highest percentage of illiteracy. Madam Speaker, if the sign language can be introduced and made mandatory in every village in this country, then we will be able to restore human dignity across all other spectrums. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Senator Thangwa.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity to also throw my weight in supporting this bill. And I also want to thank the Senator Kamar and Senator Sige for seeing it fit to bring to this floor of this House this bill that is requiring that sign language should be introduced in schools, Mr. Speaker. Madam Speaker, sorry. When I was an MCA, Madam Speaker, there was a friend of mine who was visually impaired and a nominated MCA. And every time, because he was very colorful in speaking, he could tell us that if Jesus was to come to his town and he hears that he is healing people, he would run away to the other direction because he was comfortable the way he was. So by bringing this bill, Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, we are not feeling sorry for anybody. What we are doing as a House is to give everyone an opportunity as given by the Constitution. Madam Speaker, we should start from this House. I think our starting order as Madam Speaker allows English, Swahili, and sign language as the official languages, Madam Speaker. We should have an interpreter in this House. All the starting